MegaPodTastic.
Good morning, MegaPodlings. It's Krazy Joe back at the old Regal on a chilly, rainy night, which is a shame because it was so nice earlier today. It was sunny, it was warm, and then it got chilly and rainy real quick. But we're here to see a movie that I've been waiting for over 30 years to see, and that is Ghostbusters Afterlife. Ghostbusters Afterlife, a movie I've been waiting 32, I believe it's 32 years, because the last one was 1989. The 2016 film does not count because that was a reboot, not a sequel. So we have been waiting for an in-continuity sequel for 32 years. And thanks to COVID, things got pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. We were supposed to have seen this film by now about 4 times over, but COVID had other ideas. But this is it. It's finally upon us. Ghostbusters Afterlife. There's the poster. There it is. Let's go do this. I'm ready. Been ready for 32 years. Okay. This is my second movie as a member of Regal Unlimited. So I'm going to have to use my phone in a second to check in. Here we go. Okay, I just got my popcorn. I got to tell you, I'm a little bit disappointed. Last time I was here, I asked when they were going to be getting another one of those big 20-ounce tubs. You know, I collect the popcorn 20-ounce tubs, and I was told Ghostbusters. This is not it. That's kind of a small bucket. I don't really collect buckets that small usually. I only collect the 20-ounce tubs, but I ordered it sight unseen thinking it was a 20-ounce tub, and that's what I got. But it is what it is. Let's go see this movie. All right, we are going to Theater 9. Theater 9.
What do you mean? Basically to open and close. Right, open it. Right.
Surprisingly empty.
Head over to the website for the full James Bond experience.
Very few people here. Very strange. This is Ghostbusters. This place should be packed. Opening day on a Ghostbusters movie? I'm back from seeing Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I didn't want to waste any time. I wanted to definitely give you my review of the film as quickly as possible. First off, let me say I waited 32 years for this film. I think I said that at the beginning, and it can't be stressed enough. I don't know that there's ever been a movie I've waited for as long as Ghostbusters Afterlife. Throughout the 90s, I traced the development of this movie. At one point in time, it was going to have Chris Farley in it and Will Smith, and it was one of those movies that kind of came and went. Bill Murray was reluctant to make another one, and then it would start to come together, then it would fall apart, and it just seemed that we would never, ever get a canonical Ghostbusters 3. And then around 2015, we started hearing, it's happening, it's real, it is happening. Dan Aykroyd and Ivan Reitman are putting it together. There will be a Ghostbusters 3. And then that all fell apart, and instead we got the 2016 reboot, which was obviously not very successful. And I thought that was the final nail in a Ghostbusters 3's coffin. I didn't think we would ever get a Ghostbusters 3 after the reboot, because the logical thing was, if the reboot was a hit, make a sequel to the reboot. That, makes more sense, right? Make a sequel to the reboot if the reboot's a hit. And if the reboot wasn't a hit, well, I thought then Hollywood being Hollywood, they'd say, there's no interest in Ghostbusters anymore. and put the franchise on the shelf for maybe another 20 years. And then maybe like 20 years down the line, someone would go, let's revive that brand. And of course, then, another 20, the original cast wasn't getting any younger. You put the franchise back on the shelf for another 15, 20 years. We already lost Harold Ramis. How many more of them would we have lost? Would it have been possible, or would we have been looking at yet another remake? So it seemed like a canonical Part 3 was dead in the water. So the fact that Ghostbusters Afterlife exists is something of a minor miracle. That's a lot to live up to. 32 years of anticipation is a lot to live up to. So did it succeed? Could it succeed? How could a movie live up to that? Well, I'm shocked to tell you it not only lived up to my expectations, it exceeded my expectations. Exceeded. Because this movie is something truly special. It's the kind of love letter to the original movies that I didn't think we would ever get. And quite frankly, I don't know if we deserve it. I mean, this is just one big, giant gift to the fan base. And I'm astounded that a film like this even exists. It is funny. It is charming. It is nostalgic. And by God, it is emotional. I heard a lot of people who saw earlier screenings saying that they cried. And I was like, oh, okay, people cried. Well, when I got to the third act of the film, I understood exactly why people were crying. I'm not going to tell you. You got to see it for yourself. But it tugs at every heartstring. If you are a Ghostbusters fan, if you grew up with these characters and this mythology, it is just a special movie. You kind of know what this is if you've seen the trailer. Egon's daughter and grandkids inherit an old farmhouse that he had kind of retreated to in later years. And the question is, what was he doing there? Why did he go to this farmhouse? What happened to the original Ghostbusters since Ghostbusters 2? Because that we don't know. And the movie kind of slowly fills in all the gaps of what happened to the Ghostbusters after we last saw them in Ghostbusters 2. And what Egon was up to in this farmhouse. And that's the mystery. And you got to find out for yourself. It does tie in directly with events from the original Ghostbusters movie. You probably could figure that out easily from the trailer. Obviously the Marshmallow Men make an appearance. This movie is truly special. And my hat's off to Jason Reitman. And Jason Reitman, you have given a great gift to the Ghostbusters fans. I got a little worried because it's opening night. It's the Thursday before, obviously the technical opening date is Friday the 19th. I went on the Thursday night and there were only 5 people in the theater. Only 5 people. And I worried, man. I worried. I thought this is not a good sign. Opening night, only 5 people in the theater. Fortunately, all 5 of us stayed till after the credits. And when the lights came up, I kind of said, because there were only 5 of us there, I said, man, it's distressing that there's only 5 of us here on opening night. And the other 4 people who had come together said, well, every other show was sold out. Every other show was sold out. Now, something about me, I always go for the latest show possible. I look at all the show times. I always buy for the latest show possible because it's easiest for me to get out when the kids are asleep. Christine is not a night owl. She goes to bed early. So the kids go to sleep. Christine goes to sleep. And then it's easier for me to get out because I like to spend time with the family. It's like I don't want to be, going out. And I try to avoid going out while the kids are still awake. That's just me. It's not always possible. Sometimes I have to, but I try to avoid it if it can be avoided. So I always go for the latest show. And these guys basically told me they didn't want to be at that late show. They wanted to go earlier, but every other show was sold out. That made me feel so much better because it would be a tragedy if this wonderful, emotional Love Letter to the Fans was not a success. I hope it's a huge success. If you're a Ghostbusters fan, you got to see this. The biggest high five I could possibly give, Ghostbusters Afterlife is now on a short list of my favorite films of 2021. Go see this movie. Go see this movie. You owe it to yourself. If you're a Ghostbusters fan, go see this movie. All right, everybody. Keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander Adamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.